What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka JustTenMoreMinutes, aka the Freakin 10, back with another song, another new band with Wintersun. This one's called Time, and this was kind of the ones as I was trying to search for videos. Again, I've described in some other videos the internet issues I have due to my processor. It doesn't establish a secure connection. So a lot of times I've got to refresh until finally it makes a secure connection. Then I can see the videos. So on this one, when I was doing some searching, I was experiencing that problem. So I saw this one here and I grabbed it. If there's a better video for Time, definitely let me know. I'll check it out. But that's just what I'm dealing with right now until I can afford to get a new PC, hopefully in December. So that's kind of what I face when I'm looking for lyrics and such, you know, of trying to make these videos. So when I tell you that it does take time to create these, it truly does. With that being said, though, I also see this as 12 minutes. I'm not familiar with Wintersun, if that's going to be normal, or if they've got breaks in there. Completely in the dark when it comes to this. I do have the lyrics up, so I do know that there are some, but at what point, I don't know. But there's one thing that y'all have taught me, is patience is a virtue. And, you know, so I'm going to sit back, I'm going to relax, and I'm going to get ready to listen. I hope y'all do the same. Anyway, with that being said, we've got Wintersun and Time. There's only one thing left to do. Let's switch it up. Let's check it out. I like the build. So much stuff there. Now, y'all know how I feel about long intros. I don't necessarily like them. What I like about this so far is they'll play through, you know, 3 or 4 measures of kind of that sound, if not 8. And instead of just repeating it again, they're adding other little pieces to it, so it doesn't make it totally repetitive. Plus with this so far, I mean, instantly, I'm picturing kind of this field, right? You know, because it's got, I don't want to say a Celtic sound to it, but it's just got that old world sound to it as he's going through with that old melody that you would hear played, you know, by a bard. And it just takes you to it takes me to an open field, you know, in the European countryside. Yeah, I love it. Let's keep going. Added it at another level. Added in another layer. Okay. Great switch. Nice little switch up. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, so most of the it's one of those interesting things because I've made it very well known of just I don't like long intros, but I'm getting a different vibe off of this, more of an intro versus the actual song, and the lyrics will come in at some point. This already takes you on a journey. You know, like I said, you've got this, I hate to call it a Celtic melody, but like I said, it's got this old world vibe to it. That melody that they're playing over and over, you know, it truly sounds like one you could hear on a flute or, you know, an acoustic sitting in a bar in an old tavern, you know, in the old world, you know, with some drums in the background, nothing heavy, you know, but also translate into what they're doing here. And I love that. You know, it takes you on, you know, they went a little bit harder. So it takes you from that kind of a field to boom, here's the modern day rock version of it. That's a cool little transition that they did there. And then of course he came in with his scream. So I'm interested to see where this goes. Let's keep going. Okay. Really great delivery. Dun, 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 dun. And it's like, and it's darkness and frost are starting to reach the heart of this land with a cold disease. Sleep now for a while before the storm, and one day it will reward you for the burden of a weight. The roots go deep into the frozen dead ground. Listen to the land of snow, it makes no sound. For ages searching the warmth of the sun, if it never finds me, I can die as one. This song is another proof of why I say what I say in every freaking video about the open mic and spoken word. If I'm sitting there in an open mic night of spoken word and I take these lyrics and I go read this, I'm going to get a standing freaking ovation every single freaking time. The way it flows naturally off the tongue, it's perfect. Now, what I find interesting, with that being said, is when they get into, and I'm not sure if it's the chorus yet, I haven't quite figured out the song, the patterns yet. But what's interesting is then when they go into, it's a completely different pattern, right? And I talk about the change to the chorus from verse to chorus, chorus to verse. Now, the transition was 100% smooth, but it's interesting because they went not just with a different route of the melody per se, but also just like the tempo and the almost the I don't want to say length of the measure, but kind of the length of each line. Time will go on and we are drifting away in the night. I've been searching so long, but I will find you, even if it takes my whole life. But tonight I feel so alone, and I know that you are forever gone. Oh, time, don't fade away when I need you here. Oh, please don't leave me now. So again, it didn't follow that same delivery pattern as the chorus did, and it doesn't really follow. You could kind of go away and say, you know, night and life kind of go, but you know, when you get into that second line, you don't get a rhyme scheme. But that's okay. These guys are different, and I like it because they're doing stuff different than, you know, just a mainstream song of, you know, here's this part, blah, 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 blah. I like their changes. Let's see where it goes. It's a cool mixing. Love his voice. So it's interesting because, and this is probably one of the hardest part of being a lyrical reactor, right? You know, I kind of I do both, but I don't do the ooh-ahs. Y'all know this. It's finding lyrics that match, because there's some inconsistencies in what I see. I can't always find them on the band's website, or on, you know, one like Genius or Lyrics Match or Music Match. So there are times, you know, where lyrics don't necessarily match, and but I also don't know that he says these, but maybe it's something they're saying in the background. So they said time fades away when time fades away, and I'll never be the same. Time. It's really cool delivery. It was a nice little vocal mix with the backups vocals kind of doing that same thing, but harmonizing with it. Really cool. You want so much from me. I feel nothing but grief and despair. How can I make you feel again? All my dreams are just visions I can't bear. You want something that I can't give. I cannot keep living in this bitter dream. And I don't care anymore. It feels like my life is ending. Oh, another year has gone by, but nothing has changed in my life. And time goes on forever and ever, and it waits for no one. Time will go on, and we're drifting away in the night. I've been searching so long, but I will find you even if it takes my whole life. But tonight I feel so alone, and I know that you're forever gone. Oh, time, don't fade away when I need you here. Oh, please don't leave me now. And again, I say, you know, the first part was a perfect example of how it just flows with that open mic night. Then it gets deeper, and it's just the way that they deliver it that makes it work. You give this to some other bands out there, and they would not know how to deliver something like this. You know, we're talking about at 10 minutes out of a 12-minute song. And I sat there and I looked and I was like, we're already at 10 minutes? And yes, are there times where it felt long? Yes, definitely. But there's something, just as you're getting to that brink, at least for me personally, and you don't know how impatient I am, my ADHD kicks in and I'm like, okay, it was too long. But there's something with this, and I think y'all will see it in me just because of how much I don't like short intros or longer songs. But there's something about this that just when you're on the brink of just going, okay, guys, come on, get to the point, they come in. It's almost as if they know right when to flip that switch. And this just brings so many different emotions in. The lyrics are beautiful, right? I go back. You want so much from me, and I feel nothing but grief and despair. How can I make you feel again? All my dreams are just visions I can't bear. You want something that I can't give. I cannot keep living like this bitter dream. And I don't care anymore. It feels like my life is ending. Again, you stand up and you speak this in an open word, and you're going to get a standing ovation. Let's let it finish out. This is different, and I'm trying to decide, you know, overall, because we're talking about 12 minutes. And my attention span for a lot of times is not that long. You know, there's very few bands that can keep it, and Nightwish obviously is one of them with some of theirs, and they keep it 100%. These guys are doing a pretty damn good job of doing that. Let's keep going. That dude is pouring sweat. Very well done. Just want to see if any... Okay. I was seeing if any credits were coming up. Here, and they just repeated, right? Time fades away and I fade away and I'll never be the same. Time fades away when the time fades away and I'll never be the same. And I fade away when the time fade awaits and I'll never be the same. There's so many layers of complexity to this. And it's one of those that, you know, you almost just have to sit there and just kind of take it in. Because starting out, you know, as I said, I picture this open field and you're going through, and then he comes in, you know, with the hard, they come in, actually they all do, you know, with that harder piece. And then he comes in with the scream, right, and kind of sets the tone. And then he comes through those first lyrics, which still are just phenomenal lyrics. And then they do a switch up, right, in both the pattern of delivery and the length of the lines, you know. And then the chorus, right, of time will go on and drifting away into the night, right, because they repeat that again a little bit longer. But it's just one of those where they go through so many different layers and then ending it on that same kind of piano that just, again, helps you kind of fade away like time. There's a lot of complexities to this, and it works to keep my attention for the 12 minutes and wondering how they're going to handle that long. You know, to not have the lyrics until 4 minutes in, I think was right. Let me see if that's right. We're right at the 2. He's not singing yet. 3. Okay. So 3:56 is kind of, at least the first one there is kind of when I think he starts. But to have that 4 minutes, right? And to keep someone's attention for that long with twists and turns and adding those layers that they did, so that it's not just a repetitive intro. Brilliant. And then you've got, you know, you're at that 4 minutes, right? So now you've got this other 8 minutes to fill with lyrics that are not super long. You know, if you were to look at these lyrics, and I got these off of Song Lyrics, let me make sure I get the right window here. So these are not super long lyrics, right? As some that we've seen. These are not super long. And so you're talking about fitting those into 8 minutes while still keeping your audience's attention. Very complex. It's very complex on how they built the whole thing, how they delivered it. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else I can say, but I'll switch it up, give you my final thoughts. This is one of those that's hard to judge for me. I like it, but you know, as I said, the chorus to the chorus of the verse to chorus, and not knowing what was what with this song as we went through and trying to figure out, excuse me, what their true patterns were, and then starting to see, okay, this is what it was, and this is how they're delivering it, you know, and them switching right back to the same way that they delivered the first chorus with, you know, the time will go on and we're drifting away in the night. But I think what I'm amazed about, and the reason why I keep pausing is I'm still looking at that 12-minute mark. And I'm thinking to myself, for that entire 12 minutes, was I entertained? And yes, I was. I wanted to see, I was fascinated by their ability to keep my attention without singing. Music can become very repetitive in a song if you're not switching things up. And I think they did this to the point where, you're right, at least for me personally, right? I'm right on the brink of going, okay, let's finish the song. When in fact, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm just waiting for the next layer. Very, very complex. And I like songs like that every now and then because it's just a reminder of the artistry that's out there. You can hear simple songs and songs that get you that, good mood. And then there's songs like this that you could sit back and truly get lost in and think. And I saw when I was trying to look up these lyrics and find a good copy, someone said this wasn't a song. I think it may have actually been in the YouTube comments as I was looking for the lyrics to see if they were in the video. It said this wasn't a song, this was a spiritual experience. And when I first saw that comment, I'm thinking, really? But after listening, I get it. It in a sense it is, because you're starting out and for the first time you're hearing this, and maybe it's just me, but anytime I'm listening to music, I'm visualizing it. I'm putting a scene to it. I'm putting faces to it. Whether I'm actually I know what the band looks like or anything, I'm putting scenes in my head to the music. And as I told y'all, I pictured that field, and then it goes harder, and I pictured thunderstorms, and then at the end kind of drifting off into space, and that was just perfect. That's the only way to put it. I want to hear more by them. So if there's another song or another version of this, let me know. I want to check it out because I want to see if that's kind of their way of doing things. It was fascinating. That was truly fascinating. And I know I say that a lot in comments and I use that word a lot, but I am fascinated quite a bit because there's a psychology behind everything. And what was their thought process to building a song like this with these complex layers and the artistry behind it. So that's why I call it fascinating. And I say fascinating about a lot of things because it is. There's a psychology behind everything that goes on in this world. And to understand that is fun to me. I'm weird. I accept that. Anyway, really loved it. This was a great video to close out Free for All Friday. Loved it, loved it, loved it. With that being said, I'll see you next time on the next Free for All Friday. But until then, let me throw some shameless plugs in there. If you like that video, let me know in the comment section. Drop me a comment, hit that like button. If you like the content that I produce, hit that subscribe button. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm putting out song reactions. Those are my main song reaction days, with Monday and Wednesday being focused on Ginger, Sabaton, and Nightwish. With the bonus video, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do a Sabaton history reaction. And then the warning, a new rabbit hole I'm diving down. And then on Fridays, it's Free for All Fridays like this days, where I take songs from the list of requests. I think I'm in the 80s now of requests to go knock out, and I knock those out. And a lot of it is new bands. This was another Friday that was phenomenal. We had About Us. We had Nanowar Steel. We had Hammerfall. And then we had this one with Wintersun. I almost said Winter Haven. A great free-for-all Friday. So many different layers of Hammerfall, from that classic sound to Nanowar Steel with their great comedic with Norwegian reggaeton. About Us, that blew me out of the water. And then closing it with this deep thought. And truly, as that commenter said, a spiritual experience of just taking you on this journey through the song. Amazing Free for All Friday. And it wouldn't have happened without y'all. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Whether you're subscribed or not, coming in and checking this out, I appreciate it. But that's going to do it for this Free for All Friday. As always, my friends, if someone asks you to stop what you're doing, don't ask for one, don't ask for two, and certainly don't ask for three. If someone asks you to stop what you're doing, always ask for just 10 more minutes. I'm JTMM. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you on Monday. I'm out.